If maybe I could do maybe a video about reading a book. And yes, I just finished with the house tour, so go watch that. It's uploading still probably though, so yeah, are you ready to read this? This might be a baby book, but I don't know. I just see people reading all the time. Okay. Let's do this. This book is called Fred and Ted's Road Trip. Fred has a green car and Ted has a red car. Fred and Ted were going on a road trip. Ted packed the lunch. Fred packed the tools. They drove away. Ted drove on the road. Fred drove on the grass. They came to a big mud puddle. Fred drove into it. Ted drove around it. They stopped at a water hose. Ted was clean. Fred was dirty. Ted turned on the water. He stayed dry. Fred got wet. They came to a log. Fred drove over it. Then Ted drove under it. Move your hand, Micah. They stopped to have a picnic. Ted carried the lunch. Fred spreaded the blanket. They sat down to eat. Ted felt one drop. Fred felt two drops. Kaboom! It started to rain. Ted ran to his red car. Fred ran to his green car. Ted drove in the rain. Fred drove out of the rain. They drove in a desert. Ted was cool. Fred was hot. They ran over some cactus. Fred got a flat tire. In the toolbox, Ted found a pump. Fred found a spoon. Ted pumped. Fred found apples. Ted pumped and pumped and pumped. Fred found bread and milk and a pineapple. Fred went up and up. Fred called for help from up in the air. Ted raced to help down on the back at home safe and sound. Did they finish their picnic? Yes, they did. Ted had a sandwich. Fred had hard-boiled eggs and a pickle. The end. Give me a thumbs up if you like Fred and Ted, and do the comments below. Comment below if you have any book ideas for me to read. Thank you. And yes, it's Marley Nelson who goes to Thorner Elementary. Mr. L, you rock!